This is of course a car, but today's video we're not going to be discussing a car. We're going to be discussing a muscle car, specifically the Ford Mustang, which can be considered to be one of the most iconic cars of all time. In 2018, the Ford Mustang has been around for 53 years now, and over this time the car has gone through multiple different changes. With that being said, some people are beginning to question if the Mustang is a muscle car anymore, and in today's video we're going to answer just that question. This is of course the 2014 S197 Mustang GT, what some consider to be the last Mustang that is actually a muscle car. Why do some people feel this way, you ask? Because this car possesses things such as a live rear axle, and the interior of the vehicle is considered to be bare bones, only consisting of a 6-speed manual and a radio. That's what some people say a muscle car should only consist of. In order to fully understand why so many people feel this way about the 2014 Mustang GT, I decided to take one on a drive. Alright, so setting off in the 2014 Mustang GT, a lot of people do claim this to be the last muscle car Mustang that Ford really made after the S550 model came out. People were saying that they're too refined and there's too much luxury. It's not, bare bones anymore. A lot of people will say that this is the last muscle car that is a Mustang because you really get a nice balance of technology. I have a screen right behind me, displaying stuff like 0 to 60 for me if I want to track that, my gas mileage and whatnot. All that is right there. And of course right here I don't even have a sync system touch screen. I basically just have the shaker audio system. I still have the wireless sync Microsoft system for your phone. But like I said, people will see this as a nice balance of power and technology in a car. But now what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and drive it and see if the experience is really any different or any more raw as a lot of people would consider it to be. So we're in first gear now, going to go ahead and roll onto it, first gear. And it's fast. That's what Mustangs are known for being fast. Spun the tires a little bit, actually all the way through first gear right there. But these cars, that definitely did feel really engaging, exciting. Even though this is a stock car, the exhaust, with the newer Mustangs do sound a lot better. Especially from the factory. This one, like I said, being stock, not a lot of sound, but just getting on the gas, just exciting like that. And the live rear axle definitely does, like the bump. I hit a bump back there, and it can really jump around on you if you're not really knowing what you're doing. But definitely this is what people see as the muscle cars. As far as handling goes, they don't see it as being something that you really care about. They just really want to go fast in a straight line. And Mustangs have been known for being fast in straight lines for a long time. Another thing to know about the differences between the 2014 Mustang and the 2018 Mustang is that a lot of people feel like, honestly, the 6-speed manual is going to be your best option. And a lot of the older guys feel like, even though the 10-speed is faster and whatnot, they just feel like the 6-speed manual is dying off with the new 10 speeds and whatnot. And it seems like Ford is almost making more 10-speed automatics than they are really the manuals. And that's why a lot of people just really consider this to be more of an American muscle car than the newer 2018 Mustang. People say that those are too refined, like I've already said, and just too not enough in your face is what people really want. And that's what people are getting from Dodge right now. And people also will say the same thing about the Camaros, is that they're too refined. The Mustang and Camaro, they're too refined, but Dodge is all in your face with their cars. We're gonna go ahead and accelerate here, that way I can go ahead and give you guys an idea of how this car feels really going into a turn when it's being pushed hard. Second gear. And I will say it's definitely not as confidence inspiring, especially when you're on the stock suspension. Now, of course, you have options to go aftermarket, but with that live rear axle, there's always that possibility of it stepping out. And I do kind of feel it as I'm hitting these bumps in the turns, really, just popping around back there. But a lot of people will say that the reason why Ford went with these live rear axle Mustangs is the fact that you have the ability to go faster on a drag strip, and they're actually stronger for, more higher horsepower vehicles. So that is definitely a benefit. And this thing, like I said, definitely will spin it, no problem at all. And, So it seems to be that the 2014 Mustang is a great muscle car to drive. But what could possibly be so wrong with the newer Mustangs that they could lose the title of being a muscle car? This is of course the 2018 EcoBoost Mustang. Probably one of the most controversial things Ford has done to the Mustang is put a 4-cylinder under the hood. Of course, another reason why some people think that the Mustang isn't really a muscle car anymore is because you do have the option to get the EcoBoost engine, and a lot of people aren't really fans of it. They think that muscle cars should only have a V8, and you know, it's really sad because when you put your foot down in this thing in first gear, it honestly does rocket you, especially with the 10-speed automatic transmission that is in this vehicle. And this is actually another reason why people may not like the Mustang anymore. They might not feel like it's a muscle car, is because the 10-speed automatic transmission that is available in these vehicles, people feel like muscle cars should only be with a manual, and you know, it's just filled with a lot of technology. Currently, the car that I'm sitting in right now is the EcoBoost Premium, and it honestly has every single bell and whistle that you can think of. The 10-speed automatic transmission has a 4-cylinder under the hood, and it also has the digital gauge cluster, and that basically is a recipe for everyone to say that's not a muscle car, even though you can still have a ton of fun in these things. I mean, these things absolutely handle the roads incredible, and especially compared to the 2014 Mustang that I had, the independent rear suspension is really just phenomenal. Of course, you're not going to be as fast going in a straight line on a drag strip, and you know the rear end is not going to be as strong, but the 355 with this independent rear suspension is absolutely great. I personally do think that it is time for people to really reevaluate what a muscle car is and exactly what the Mustang is. It's definitely not what it used to be. Everything has changed on these vehicles, and some people who are refusing this change are just going to go ahead and have to accept it. Now, of course, some people won't find the EcoBoost Mustang to be their ideal muscle car. So I decided to hop in a 2018 Mustang GT Performance Pack to really think about how far the Mustang has come and exactly where it may be going in its future. Everything in the vehicle, from the magnetized suspension to the active exhaust to the heated and cooled seats, this thing is really taking it to the next level as far as what a muscle car is. And a lot of people just have to accept that muscle car, the definition of muscle car, is just changing now. I think it's pretty easy to say that muscle cars are definitely getting faster now and more refined at the same time. Just because the car has changed a little bit over the past couple of years doesn't mean that the car isn't a muscle car anymore. In fact, every single change that I see here right now in front of me is honestly for a reason and for the better. The 2018 Mustang is equipped with features such as the magnetized suspension, active exhaust, which allows you to start your car quietly in the morning so your neighbors don't hate you, adaptive cruise control, remote start, and Apple CarPlay. This is just a short list of things that make the 2018 Mustang a better muscle car. If anything, I'll tell you that the 2018 Mustang is the new muscle car, and it sets what the new muscle car should be. Handles like a dream, fast, and it puts a smile on your face. Answering the question, are Mustangs still muscle cars? The answer is yes. In fact, I would say that the Mustang is changing the definition of what a muscle car is. The new muscle car is more refined, better handling, better looking, and faster than ever. Even though some people may feel different about the Mustang, it is definitely still a muscle car. This is Daniel signing off from another Quick Drive Automotive video.